Many of us like the look of big windows, but at what cost? How this film could protect your investment both inside and out.
Plus, camping on a farm, how a local family used their land to bring peace and entertainment to others.
And Rehoboth Beach will soon be showcasing some pretty impressive pieces of art, a preview of the 34th annual Sandcastle contest, and I'm gonna try to make a sandcastle of my own.
And want a cool treat without packing on the calories? Today we're in the kitchen with a summertime recipe. It includes my favorite, chocolate. Delmarva Life starts right now.
Chocolate.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryan.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Live from historic Studio D. And Brian with the sand. I'm loving that.
I know. He has to be burning up out there. It's hot.
Oh, kidding. Got right back up to that 110-degree heat index again today.
Yeah. Stay cool. Drink lots of water. You know the drill.
And I got a funny feeling that there's at least one team that we know of that is, kind of got mixed feelings on this. The top of the hot topics this afternoon, emphasis on hot. It was a terrific season. It did finally come to an end, though, for the Berlin Little League Junior All-Stars last night. Conococheague beat the District 8 champs 7-6. Now, here's the deal. Conococheague now has to beat undefeated the District 5 champs Chesapeake City. They have to beat them twice to be able to take the state title. So they've got a big thing ahead of them, too.
Yeah, it was a great season for Berlin.
It was.
Now, we know about all the wildfires out in Colorado, Wyoming. I guess they're not as bad as they were before. Some Delaware firefighters actually traveled out there. About 20 of them traveled to Colorado and Wyoming to aid in wildfire relief and containment efforts. This picture right here, this is Daryl Trotman of Ellendale. He worked with the Delaware Wildland Fire Crews as it battled Wyoming's massive 88,000-acre Arapahoe fire earlier Arapahoe. Thank you. See, you're from that area. Milton resident Eric Berkentine has been volunteering for 12 years. He says that he goes just about every year. And this year they called him out earlier. The fires actually started a little earlier than normal.
Oh my.
But that they're starting to get some monsoonal rain out there. So hopefully they won't have to go back and deal with the fires. So
I cannot imagine fighting wildfires, having to cut fire lines, going through the brush, the tree. You guys do a terrific job, and thank you for going out there to help them. Appreciate that. If you happen to live in the Dover area, the Silver Lake area specifically, you may wonder, gosh, maybe they need to change the name of it to Green Lake. Here's the deal. The city manager explained that what had happened was there was a fish kill in the St. Jones River. Okay, so they wanted to release aerated water. That was the reason for the fish kill, was there wasn't enough air in the water. They wanted to release aerated water from Silver Lake into the St. Jones River. All that's great, wonderful, and a good idea, except for one thing. Apparently somebody opened the gate too far. They left the gate open too long, and too much water got out. The lake is now depleted, and there is an algae bloom beginning in Silver Lake, and what they're afraid they may have inadvertently done was set the situation up for another fish kill. So just in case you're wondering where all the water went and how come what's left is green, that's what the deal is.
Hopefully that resolves itself soon.
Yeah, that would be a shame.
Hey, do you like classic cars,
Love
hot
them.
rods?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? I know, right? Wheels on the Waterfront has classic cars and hot rods, street rods, cruising into Crisfield for their 6th annual show. This year, they're going to have motorcycles at the event benefiting Wounded Warrior Project, and Major General James A. Atkins, Adjunct General for Maryland, will accept event proceeds on behalf of the project. Sounds like a lot of fun. And while you're looking at the cars and the motorcycles, you can also eat some food. They're going to have a local DJ there, spinning the oldies, door prizes, and a 50-50 charity raffle down in Crisfield.
So if you want to go as a greaser or tennis shoes, you're good to go. Remember when we had Lisa Challenger on the other day?
Yeah.
She was talking about the Maryland Ale Trail, is that right? Is that the right name?
Yes.
I think that's the right name of it. Well, anyway, she'd mentioned the Burley Oak Inn in Worcester County. Well, not only do they serve beer, take a look at this. They now have what they call a bike library. They're providing Berlin with more than just beer. They've got 10 bikes there on the location, and what you can do is you can just get one and wander around Berlin.
Wow. Without a library card?
Yeah, really. No kidding. It's the Delmarva Wine and Ale Trail. That was the name of it. I couldn't think of what it was. But just a little something to
That's pretty cool. That's common in Europe. They do that. I know in London we would see the, they have
like
bicycles.
A share a bike?
Yeah, share a bike,
Really?
You ride it to your destination, you just leave it there for the next person.
Wow.
So,
I don't know why that would feel odd, but I guess it makes sense.
Hey, take a look at this picture. This is an osprey from the long neck area. Actually, 2 of them fell out of a nest not long ago, before they were fledgling.
Yeah.
And thanks to some concerned residents and animal rescuers, they were found. One of the 2 birds was placed back in its nest by a certified wildlife rehabilitator. The other one had to be taken for a short rehab up in Tri-State Bird Rescue and Research in Newark, up in Delaware. He wasn't there very long. Apparently he had gotten caught in some fish line or whatever. But they are doing well. They were discovered on the ground in late July by Carol Bixler near her home. This was in the Cape Gazette this morning, by the way.
Wow.
So they did everything. They called the wildlife rehabilitator, which is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You don't try to handle the birds yourself or try to, nurse them back to health yourself.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're going to be okay.
Carol, thank you for doing that, doing the right thing. About 5 to 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
How about
Little
that?
babies.
Nobles Pond is hosting the inaugural Girls Night Out to Fight MS. It's going to be here in, I think, about 5 or 6 weeks. They're raising funds for the Delaware chapter of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. I love this is their logo. Yeah, I fought like a girl. I love that.
I like that.
Nobles Pond Vice President Mary Fields said that they were doing was they focused on MS because they were absolutely astounded. You've got to listen to these numbers from the Diamond State. One of the highest rates of multiple sclerosis in the country, and women in Delaware diagnosed with MS at a rate much higher than the national average.
Huh.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that either.
So that's coming up in September. Yeah, I fought like a girl.
Yeah.
The Girls Night Out to Fight MS, and we'll give you more information about that as we get a little bit closer to it.
Sure.
You had a large time at the Firefly Music Festival.
I know, we've been talking about it ever since I came
back. I know,
back.
ever since before she went as she got back.
Yeah, I had a great time. And apparently the grounds were relatively clean after 30,000 people came to the Firefly Music Festival, which, by the way, was a rousing success. So successful they're going to do it again next year. What they did was they asked for volunteers. In exchange for tickets to the show, people were able to volunteer to pick up trash and in little shifts and everything. That worked wonders. It kept the trash off the ground, and of course they encouraged recycling and everything. Jeff
Jagelski, I happen to know him.
Jagelski, thank you so much. Director of Operations for Delmarva Cleaning and Maintenance, the firm that handles the trash cleanup at the Monster Mile, said Firefly and the 30,000 people who visited each day generated about half the trash of any NASCAR weekend that he has seen in his 15 years on the job. And they are saying one reason they think that is because the young minded, conscious, fans.
It's like a generational thing.
It's like a generational
really?
thing. They're really into, cleaning up after themselves and recycling and so on and so forth. So just another success story coming out of Firefly.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this one to come around. I might have to go this next time.
You can come camp with us.
We'll just have the show there. We'll take the cameras, set up everything there from.
I like that idea.
You do?
I do.
We need to rethink it. You remember this whole thing we were talking about Dan Gaffney here a few weeks ago? I can't remember how
it was last week. I think it was.
Was it last week?
Yeah, it
Seems
sure
like it's been
was.
forever.
There he is.
There's Dan. Well, Delmarva, we said that he was leaving WGMD. Well, Delmarva Broadcasting has announced a new Lewis-based talk radio station beginning in September called Delaware 105.9. And Dan Gaffney and other local hosts are going to be kicking it all off. Now, 105.9 is right now Cat Country. It's one of the 2 frequencies for Cat Country.
Okay.
Because that's where I was before I got to come here.
Yeah.
95.9 and 105.9. So I guess 95.9 staying Cat Country, and now they are flipping 105.9.
Oh my goodness.
To be, I think it is a very interesting gap to fill in the market when it comes to radio. So.
Is it? I assume it's going to be local talk again.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. Because they're saying local hosts, and of course Dan Gaffney, I think almost is Mr. Local, so it's going to be an interesting program to see what it is.
And Delmarva loves its local.
Yeah, no kidding. Wanted to say we're sorry to hear that Bob Stickels has had to resign as Dewey Beach town manager. He let the town council know late yesterday afternoon that he would the resignation was effective immediately. He told them it's for personal reasons. That's all we know. We don't know who's going to be stepping in. In the interim, he had an 18-month contract, and obviously something happened. He said, "Sorry, can't." So wish well to Mr. Stickels and everything. He's got an incredible track record of all the things that he's done.
Wasn't he like economic director at some point?
Head state position.
Yeah,
he was working so long for Georgetown.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there, and we hope everything turns out well.
I know when I was reporting when I'm working in the newsroom, somebody would come in new, and they would always spell his name wrong because it's K-E-L-S.
Yeah.
And they always spell it K-L-E-S.
Got it backwards.
It's one of those things.
We hope everything goes well there.
Wish the best for him.
The Rubberset plant in Crisfield. Here's something I didn't know. Did you know that they lease the land that they're on from the city?
Okay, I didn't know that.
They lease that land. They're wanting to buy that land. What they did was they had an option with the town that they would eventually have the opportunity to buy the land, and that's what they're wanting to do. And apparently there's some discussion right now about whether or not that's actually going to happen. The thing is, the Rubberset plant opened up in, gosh, how long ago was it? 1967.
Oh my! They've been leasing it for that long?
I guess so. And they closed a plant in Ohio. They moved like 140 jobs here for that, which was awesome. Over the next several years, they added another 10 jobs. They recently added another 25. They've got 176 employees now. And what they're wanting to do to go ahead and make this purchase possible is to get a tax abatement, which is something that municipalities and counties will do to encourage a business either to come in or to stay in and continue to build and, of course, bring more money into the economy. But obviously, city is saying, like, well, that's a lot of money that we would be losing if we give you the abatement. So Crisfield Mayor P.J. Purnell is hoping maybe what they can do is split it between the city and the county.
Gotcha.
And that way the city would still get some income, the county would still get some income.
And everyone gets to keep their job.
And everybody keeps getting a job. 176 jobs there. So, wonderful thing.
Pretty good. I feel like we should say geek moment time. It's Jimmy's geek moment time.
You know what? I'm going to be a geek for just a moment, and I'm going to tell you why. I want to say happy 84th birthday to Joe Kittinger tomorrow. There's Joe now. In August of 1960, Air Force Captain Kittinger jumped out of a balloon 20 miles into the sky. You might be wondering why.
Why?
Well, we'll explain that here in just a second. In the process, he set 2 records over 50 years ago that still stand today. The first record, he made the highest free fall. This is video of that. Look at that. 20 miles in the air. The highest free fall parachute jump ever. The second, the fastest human being in free fall. He reached over 600 miles an hour, and those 2 still stand today. This is a jump that occurred not too long ago. This is Felix Baumgartner. He is being mentored by Captain Kittinger. This was a jump that he actually made from, let's see, where almost 72,000 feet back in March. I got an answer for that, actually. He's trying to beat Joe's record. Now, yesterday, this is Felix landing from a jump that was even higher, from 96,000 feet, almost 18 miles in the air. And please remember, he went over 500 miles an hour without an aircraft. Here's what he's trying to do. He's wanting to be the first human to go supersonic.
Without an aircraft?
Without an aircraft. Now, the whole thing here is NASA is actually paying attention to what they're trying to do, because this could be a lot of technology they can use for manned space shots that they have to bail out of.
Yeah.
So it could be an opportunity for them to come up with escape technologies.
What goes through your mind as you're taking that step out of a space?
20 miles down.
No.
Are you kidding me?
No way.
Kittinger said when he did that back in 1960, he rolled over on his back because everything he was carrying was so heavy, so that fell first. And he sees the balloon shooting up into space. But it really wasn't. He was falling so fast, but he couldn't tell it because there's no air to go past you. There's no way to look around and see how fast you're going. He didn't feel like he was falling.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Okay, this is a stupid question. You don't pull G's or anything like that?
Not in free fall.
That's interesting.
He said there was just absolutely no sensation.
And you would do it?
I would not. Just saying. Still to come on Delmarva Life, turning sand into a beautiful work of art. That's a sandcastle.
Oh, yeah.
How you can get the entire family involved in the upcoming sandcastle contest in Rehoboth Beach.
Plus, we're in the kitchen this Thursday. We're whipping up something sweet to help you cool off in this summer scorcher, and it won't hurt too much if you're watching The Waistline.
But next, you protect the outside of your home from the elements, but what about the inside? How to keep out those harmful UV rays or the sun without blocking any of the light the sun provides. Delmarva Life. Life at its best here on Delmarva Life.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. And your local York and Mitsubishi dealers.